Hey guys, welcome to DevOpsSchool. In this video tutorial, we are going to learn about Kubernetes. Kubernetes is developed by Google and it is an open source platform that automates container operations. It eliminates many of the manual processes involved in deploying and scaling containerized applications. After going through this tutorial, I promise you that the concept and understanding of the Kubernetes will be absolutely clear to you. But before we begin, let me inform you a few things about us. DevOpsSchool is one of the leading platforms which offers DevOps, cloud and containers technology training and certification programs for freshers and established professionals who wish to update and consolidate their skills in the dynamic IT scenario. We ensure that the training solutions are delivered by highly experienced domain experts with practical working experience in various verticals. You can join our all training programs globally through online platforms, and if you're looking for classroom workshop, then we have regular batches available in Hyderabad and Bangalore. Check out the dates and enroll with us for our upcoming batches. For more info, link and contact details are mentioned in the description below.
Okay, so today we are going to set up Kubernetes on AWS with ELB. Okay, so earlier when we created a services last time, when we created a services in the last training, Kubernetes services, and so we exposed that in the last session we exposed with the node port. Now today we are going to expose with load balancer of AWS. Okay, so that is the demo which we will do that with of AWS. Okay, so how can we do that? So again we are going to follow the same process, installing kubectl, installing Kops, configuring AWS Route 53 related stuff, getting access, configuring CLI S3 buckets, and then finally we are going to set up the cluster. So this time I'm not going to explain each of this stuff in detail, but then I'm going to do that. So let's start it. So first step, I'm going to install the kubectl. So this is my domain. So let me explain some of the architecture here. ms config. So here this is me. Okay, this is me here. Right now this is a cluster which we are setting on the AWS. Okay, cluster may consist of multiple nodes. Okay, so this is a node 1, this is a node 2, so let me put it outside, and 1 and 2, and inside the cluster we have a master also, right? Kubernetes master. Inside the node we will have a pod. Okay, so we will have a pod, and now we are going to expose this pod not with the node port, but we are going to expose all this pod with the ELB. So ELB, so the moment we expose this port with ELB, then ELB can be mapped with the Route 53. Okay, and then we can access it from the end user. So like other people who can access it, end user. So this is our end user, they can access it. Now this is me. kubectl will be with me, which will be sorry, I'm very bad in drawing. So kubectl will be here. So I'll be writing the commands using a kubectl against the master. Master will create a pod here, and pod will be exposed to the ELB of the AWS services. ELB will be talking to the Route 53, and then end user will be able to access whole pods directly. So this is the kind of flow which we are trying to create. Is that clear?
But last also, except TLB, we have done the same flow.
Last training we had done the node port, so we did not do with the load balancers directly. We did expose with a node port.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay, so now let's get started. So here I am going to install kubectl. So let's get started. ec2-user, clear the screen. Now I'm going to follow the same tutorials which we have followed last time. So let's get downloaded. I'll become a sudo for time being, but we have to perform all these activities using normal user. So let's get started. So I'm copying this kubectl. Then after that, I'm going to give the permission to kubectl. After that, I'm going to move to the user local bin and setting the path. So that way kubectl is set. So right now you can verify kubectl is set. Now I can use it. After that, I'm going to step 2. I'm going to install the Kops, and for that, let me download it. This is the Kops I'm downloading right now. And after that, I'll give the execute permission to the Kops. Still taking time. Today download is a little bit slow, so it's taking time, but it's almost done. Okay, now giving the permission, and finally we're going to move to again to user local bin, and that's all. So now we have a Kops which is already installed. So we got it, kubectl, we got the Kops. Now step 3, configure AWS Route 53. So if you remember, last time also we have done this setting. So let me verify Route 53. Let me go to the Route 53, which is here, network related services here. And last time, if I remember correctly, I have set it up kops.rajesh.rajeshkumar.xyz. So let me check. It's here. So copart.rajesh kumar.xyz. This is what I'm going to use it. So I'll just click here, and these entries, it should be a part of the domain. So I'm going to make it. So here, if you look at this copart, let me match 22240304, and I think that's the same entry what you have right now. So this is step number 3 is done. So I'm not going to repeat it. Yes, but I should verify. So that way I'm going to install this utility, a big utility. So let me do that. And finally, this will be changed to Copart. So COPART, Copart. So now I'm going to clear the screen, run it, and then I can see those entries are coming. So it's perfectly fine. So I can skip this stuff. Now configure step 4. We have to configure the AWS user access and assign that access to the this one. So I think I have already the group which is created last time. So let me verify. I am user. I will go with it. There's a one group should be there. Uh, Group here. I think last time I created Copart here. So this is the group name, and this has permission. Yes. So all required permissions are here, but I just have to create a user. So let me create a user. So if I see user, as of now there is no user, so no problem. I'm going to create a Copart user and programmatic access. Next, select the group. So I'm selecting the Copart group, and next, create user. So now I have done the user things as well, and now this is the most important part of it. So this is user key, and this is an access key, and this is the ID. So that is what we needed. So here step 4 is also done, and we have got the stuff. Now we have to configure the AWS CLI. So first of all, in the machine where I'm going to install I'm installing the Kops and kubectl, I'm going to install the AWS CLI. So how can I install it? Many ways where you can get it installed, but this is the one which is the fastest one. So let me get it quickly installed. And finally, this one. Okay, so now almost everything is done right now. So after that, I have to come out of it because I'm going to do the perform the AWS configure, and this options I have to do as a non-root user. Okay, so I will go and do it now, everything as a non-root user. So I will perform AWS configure. So here, and the keys I'm having, which is here, I just copy paste. Just this is the one, and region is AP South, so Mumbai region. So let me copy it from here and set it up. This done. So now AWS S3 LS, and now it's configured. So now I can see that everything is configured. Now I need a one S3 bucket also. So as part of this S3 bucket, so let me quickly create that because I don't remember the name of the last bucket. So here I am going to use Kops and cluster one. So that let me verify if that is exist or not. Kops cluster, that time I created this one in the last session. So I'll go with it. There's no problem in it. So I can go with it. I can create through command line. I can create through GUI also. Any way is possible. So I'm creating through command line. And done. So now that this is also done. So if you want to verify, just write it in this command. And I can see this is the one which is here. This is the one. Okay, now everything is done. Now the time has come for the creating the cluster. So all the setups from step 1 to step 6 I have also done in the last session, and this time in the step 7 I'll be doing a little bit different. So let's do that. So right now I'm setting up these environment variables. So let me copy paste from here to here, so that way I can modify. What is my cluster name? So my cluster name is Kops cluster 1. So this is my cluster name, and Kubernetes version I'll let it be default. Availability reason I'll let it be default. Availability rule zone I'll go with it, and state which is here, this should be Kops. So I'll modify according to that. Now these are the information which I have already modified. Now one of the things which I should also do is like copying the permission key. So let me do that. So this is the one of the last step. I just did it, and now I need this is done to this. Now that I'm going to create a cluster. So let me remind you, last time I had created a cluster with a default setup. So in that last setup, what I did, I had created a cluster with the by default it creates a one master which is with the large, and then two nodes with a medium instance. But this time I'm going to customize it, and that is important. So what I'm going to do this time, I'm not going to follow the same thing, but rather than I'm going to customize with little bit of the type of the EC2 instance. So how can I do that? So I have to set two more environment variable, and that is this one. So I'm setting up the node size would be T2 small, and master size would be T2 medium. So this is the two things I am going to set it up as well. And finally, I'm going to create a cluster with this command. Here you have a cluster name, availability zone, Kubernetes version, node size. Here node size, did I put it? Yes, here it is. And then master size, which is this one. And how many nodes you want? You want only one node, and go with yes. So that is what I am going to do that. So for that,
Rajesh also changed the node type to Linux. Last time we had an Ubuntu. We'll try with Linux this time.
yeah. So node type Linux. Last time we had a Debian actually.
Okay.
By default, as of now, the master it's been created with the Debian Linux. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to set it up with this. So let me set it up all the environment variable. Here, this
Rajesh,
one.
on the Kubernetes master, it should be the core OS by default install.
Yes, they have a for the Kubernetes master. They have a one default AMIs which is available. So they use for that master actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So here, and I'm going to set up this environment variable as well. And here, and finally, I'm going to run this. The moment you run -s, this is going to make a changes. So I'm going to do with one node only. And right now, it's happening. Right now is creating that cluster right now, which includes as of now, as per the things, we have only one master, one master and one node. We can scale it up the moment will get created. So let's wait for it. I'm going to okay. So right now you see that cluster is starting. It should be ready in a few minutes. So cluster has been created right now, and it should be ready. So there's the command. So verify those clusters so you can get to know this command. So as of now it is not up. So if you want you can validate it. So for the validate you have to use this command cop validate cluster and cluster name. So name is this one. So right now I'm validating, and now you see that validation failed because it takes some time actually. So validation is getting failed. Now I am going to wait for that the validation to be get over, and then we are going to do something more. So basically creating a pods, services, deployment, replica sets, and all stuff like that. So let me go to the command which is here. So I'm just waiting. Validation failed, still is creating and doing the things. I'll just pause the recordings because
Resume it.
okay, yeah. So now you can see that the cluster is ready, and now what we can do, we can view the objects, what kind of node objects we have it. So the command is Kops get cluster. So let me clear this thing. You have to change this name. So this is a cop art. Okay. So let's get it. So right now you have a basically two instance group. One is master. So as of now you have only one master. How many nodes you have? So only one node right now you have. So if you want to increase the master or nodes, you can do that very well. So if you want to increase, let's say nodes, so then you have to use this command, cops edit ig instance group name of the cluster. So here the cluster would be cop art. This one, and then this command will help you to modify the nodes. So right now I have one node. So what I want to do, I want to maximize the nodes to 2, and let's minimum nodes I will go with 2. So now if you see that I just modify the instance group of the nodes, and now if I see kubectl get nodes, still I am having only one nodes. So right now you can see still I'm having one nodes. So what you have to do, you have to apply the changes. So the command is this one to apply the changes, in which the name is equal to cluster names, which is already set here. So now let me update this cluster. So now basically we are adding one more node right now, and cluster changes has been applied to the cloud. Changes may require instance to restart, so that is okay. So we'll go with it. Right now, still it's one node. It should come in few seconds. Let me still is coming. I have applied already. Just a second, let me check. Uh, it's taking time. It will take some time actually to get upload. So I can check one more time whether the changes has been done or not. So let me do that. So I can see minimum size, maximum size is 2. So it should take some time actually. So it will be applied. Let me check here in console.
But you need to restart. But you need to restart the cluster itself.
No, it's not.
Restart,
It's not necessary actually. So if you look at this, I have got it actually here. If you look at this, this is a master, which you can see first one, and second one is the one which is the which got up right now, and this is the last one, which is the one which is I created first time while creating the cluster, and then the name which is the with middle one, that's a kubectl actually. So kubectl. So basically it got created. It will take some time to come up. Actually, the instance type is very small. It's a T2 micro, so that's the reason it's taking some time. So now you see that it has come right now. So you have got these nodes here. So everything is up right now. So now after that, again the same commands which you will be running, like a get a pod and get a deployment and all the stuff like that. So same commands you have to run. So you see that there's no pods, there's no deployments, there's a two nodes, replicas, blah, blah, blah. So like this. So now let's deploy again a component. Again, same components we're going to deploy. So this is the one which I'm going to do that. So kubectl run hello nginx image nginx. Okay. So this is the things which I'm going to run with node pod, port number 80. So this is the older one. So I shall go ahead and make a changes somewhere here. Okay. So yeah. So I should make it this one. So right now, if you look at this command which I'm putting in the notes, this will create one deployment, okay, with one pod, okay, and the image which will be nginx and which will be running on 80 port, okay. So that's the one specification. So let me do that. So for this, I am doing and running. Clear the screen. So now you see that deployments has been created. Now let me run the command. How many ports you have got it? So you have got one pod. Right now you get one deployment, and here you get the replica sets one, because replica sets is from the deployment right now. And services I created none right now, but you get the one services which is from the Kubernetes, which is older one. It comes with the cluster itself. So that's one thing. So now I am not created clusters services right now. So right now it's working. You can see the pods is it's running right now. It's up and running, and its age is 37 seconds. So you can go SSH and all the stuff which I've shown you already. So you can try later point of the time. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to expose this. I'm going to expose this deployment, but not with the node port, but I'm going to expose with the load balancer. So this command I'm going to use. So here, let me tell you, the pods is running with 80 port, okay? So each pod is running internally with 80 port. What I'm going to do, I am going to expose a deployment, which is nginx. If you look at the deployment name is here, deployment name is hello nginx. I'm going to expose this deployment nginx on 80 port. That means internally it is running on 80 port. I'm going to expose with 8080 port and target port is 80. That means here internal port is 80. I'm going to expose at 8080. Yes, I have to change. I'm changing it because that's not a good practice, but I'm changing it just for the demo. Okay, so you could do that target port 80. I mean this port like exposed port 80 also, but that way you will not see the difference, right? So and then here type will become a load balancer. So earlier it was a node port. So now let me do that. And before that, I'll go to the load balancers here. So let's go to the load balancers, which is here in AWS. And you can see there's no load balancers right now. Okay, you can see there's nothing. You can see the target group, nothing. Load balancers are nothing. So now I'm going to expose with load balancers. So let me do that. So for that is the command. Now it got exposed. Now if you do the get services, you get the two services. Now if you look at this here, hello nginx, its a type is load balancers. Last time it was a node port. Cluster IP is this one and external IP is this one. So right now it's getting exposed from the container is running 80 port, pods is running on this port, and load balancing load balancer is getting exposed to 80 port. So that is how it has happened. So let me remind you, here container is running on 80 port, pods is getting exposed to the one port which is 306860, and that pods will go to the load balancer and get called balancer 8080 port, and that is what I have done. So now let's refresh this. Now look at this here, load balancers has come. Now you should get, so the moment the load balancer is exposed, you get the services and all stuff like that. You can get it that long name from here also, but you can get it from the same name from here also. So you get the DNS point. So this is your DNS points, a record. Now this is your a record, and now I'm keeping this a record here. Oh, sorry, not copied here. So now I'm going to browse this to 8080. Okay, so this is your end load balancers, and it's getting exposed to 8080 port. Okay, you can see that all this mapping and all if you want. So if you go instance here, you look at this, these are the two nodes which got attached to it, and you can see the listener also. So instance port 30680 and load balancer port is 8080. So it's automatically it's been done, so you don't have to do anything much of it. Target group also, there's no target group got created right now for this because already is you got it here, so it's not needed. So now if I go and access this one, I should get the nginx welcome page. So here nginx welcome page. Now this is the load balancers where that you are getting the one pod. Okay, you're getting one pod right now. So let me see that. I think I forgot how many pods were there. Right now we have one pod. So if you want to get a more pods, what do you have to do? You have to play with replica sets. So replica sets. So what are you going to do? Let's get a deployment. Get deployment, and here I'm going to edit. So edit deployment and nginx, and here replicas I want 2. Okay, this is the sorry, I just wrongly modified. How many replicas I want? 2. So let me go and check get pod. Now I got this 2. So one is already ready. Another one I am creating right now. Just the moment I said replicas 2, it got created. So now this is the 2 pods I got it. Both of these things running. So now I don't know if I hit to this endpoints of the ELB and 8080. I don't know which port I'm basically hitting. Okay, so I have no idea. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to logging into the nodes and then manually modify. Usually you don't do that, but I want to see that which port you are hitting. So that's important for me, right? So what I'm going to do, I am going to log in into the what do you say, nodes. So let me do that. So here I have two nodes. One is this one, another one is this one. So let me get a password of password is not needed. Key is here. So I have a waste directory, and here I am having waste final.pm. So let me copy that to the pod. So I just need a command admin here. So this file I am going to create, because PM file I'm having right now. So I'm creating this file, vi insert, and where's my PM file? This is the one, and I just copy up and here. Now I'm going to log in into the one of the instance first. So I can find it out. These pods are where. So also I can do that get pods, and I can do that describe pods. So um, describe pod and pod name. So which is on let me check, IP address 117. Okay, so that's a one thing, 117, and let me describe another pod 117, and this is the IP address which is 14. So basically it's like this, one pod created in the one node, another pod created in another node. So basically I have to access the both the node initially. It could be a scenarios where it can be created in the same node also. So that's a different, and remember I am on the different VPC, so I have to use the public IP address. So let's use it. So this is the node 1, okay, and public IP address is this one. So and this is the node 1, and this is a node 2, and public IP address is this one. Oh, sorry, by mistake it got copied the private one. I want the public one here. So now you see that we have got this two IP address. Now let me log in. So for the login there's a command. This is the command which you can use it. So this is the IP address. Username will be admin. It's created by the Kops actually in the master, so that is important. So now I'm going to log in into this both the machines. So from here I go and run it. Now yes, and now you see that okay, permission denied. So it's like 644 issue. So I can fix that one. So chmod 600. I given the permission. Now I'm logging to the first node, and right now I'm inside the node. Now if I do sudo -s, I'll become a root. Now if I do the docker -ps, this is the one of the container. So how do I get inside the container? Docker exec -it and then container id, and you know that all these commands. And here I'm inside the container, and now I'm looking for the nginx location. Unfortunately I just missed out. So let me recall this, nginx welcome page location. So it's here in the location which is user local etc nginx. Oh no, not this one. No. What's the nginx default location of the welcome page? Okay, so this is the one. User share nginx HTML. Change the data. President shows the user. Okay, just a second. Share nginx HTML. User share nginx HTML. So this is the file I have to create it to change this, right? So can you post this dot. So let me check if this file, this location is there. Nano. Oops, Nano is not there. What to do now? So any idea? Can you suggest me any idea what to do now in this scenario? VI is not there and Nano is not there and don't want to install it also. So what to do now?
Echo it and redirect the output to it.
So cat also it can be used, but that is also yeah, cat is there. So cat is there. But one of the Docker way also you can try. So those are the usual things you can try. But here control PQ. I just did the control PQ. Okay. Now I just wanted to know the location. Right now you can do the Docker CP also. So what you can do, you can create one file. So let me create one file, vi index.html, and here I'm going to write one line, h1 welcome to pod 1. That's all. Okay, just simple, nothing fancy right now. Okay, so I just did it, index.html, and Docker way also you can copy. So if you remember the command, Docker CP, remember Docker CP, and first I need a containers ID, this one. So Docker CP index.html, and inside this container, and what is the location? Location would be this one. Okay, up. Location would be copy this one. Okay, done. So I will go again to the containers. Okay, and now I will go here and more and up index.html. Now you see that it got a this control PQ. Now one pod have this page, one pod has welcome. So now let's access. Right now I am getting the page which is welcome. Let me try from the different browser and see. You can also try. Let me put this URL on your chat and let's see if you can get that one.
Try /status.html, it will give.
I got it actually.
You got it? Yeah. So did you get the welcome to pod 1?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So see, so now you are on some different pod, I am on some different pod. So this is how it happens. Now the last step of this is I'm going to link this this endpoint, which is this one, to my domain or subdomain. It could be anything. Okay, so for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to the Route 53. So let me go there, Route 53, which is here. And it could be, you can map this one as a domain, or it can be a subdomain also. So it's up to you. So now I'm going to map it with subdomain. So copart here, and now let me add a record here. So create a record set, and here what is that? Nginx, nginx copart and then here a record, I type A and alias yes, and what is alias name? This is the one. In fact, you will get it actually. So you will get as a list. You don't have to type it also. You'll get as a list. So you just put it up here. Now create. It will take few seconds to get it mapped. Now if you type this one, now your Nginx should come. So it will take some time to get affected. One more thing here, it should be 80 actually, because okay, no, here you don't need it actually. Here you don't need. Let me check. Yes, you need 8080 because default port I did not publish it. It will take some time to come, maybe 2-3 minutes or 4 minutes, and that is how
you can try NSLOOKUP or ping whether the DNS is still resolving or not.
Just a second. This domain always takes some time to get it resolved. So NSLOOKUP. It's going to the some DNS server, and address is 13. Yeah, I think it's hitting to the right address. 13, and this is the IP address of my nodes actually. So if you look at this, 127, yes. So it's correctly hitting to the Route 53 DNS server. Should take some time, but it will come up. You can try. Anyone is from in USA right now? Online from USA?
So I am.
Yeah. So can you try this URL, because for you that it will be more faster actually.
I can able to access this one.
So you are able to access. Wonderful. Okay. So that is the thing. That's the way you can set. Yeah, I got it also. So this is the way you can set it up your whole cluster. You can set it up whole infrastructure and stuff like that.
Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Want to study further? Subscribe to our paid membership to get a deep dive into each and every topic. Do look out for more videos in our playlist and subscribe to our DevOps School channel and hit the bell icon to learn more. Keep learning.